It can be a big struggle to exercise regularly and feel like you're really accomplishing something with your workouts. And I think most of us tend to put so much pressure on our plans that it becomes too overwhelming quickly. And then we throw in the towel when it doesn't go as planned. This means we're constantly starting over and getting frustrated with ourselves. So I went through this for years until I realized a few things that help me stay more consistent. So today I want to share 5 of those things in case they'll help you too.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
We all have personal reasons for wanting to get a movement routine in. Sometimes it's about creating a goal of what weight we want to be, of what we want our body composition to be. And sometimes it's just a simple need to feel good because when you're moving your body, you feel better. So there are many different reasons to want a consistent movement routine, but when we are struggling to maintain a consistent movement routine, we really have to be aware that our mindset around it is huge. How we think about our movement routine and our needs for a movement routine and our attitude towards a movement routine will like dramatically impact the way that you show up for your movement routine and how consistent you are. So that is what I realized when I was struggling to maintain a consistent movement routine because I was focused on all the wrong things and I wasn't appreciating the things that I could be looking at. So that's what I want to share with you is 5 of those things that have helped me keep a regular movement routine for years. Now, am I perfect? No, I'm not. But I have been at a level where I feel like I've been very consistent with how regularly I exercise. And the intensity of what I'm doing during those periods of time will shift based on, what's going on in that season of life, the weather outside, just what is available to me, what my goals are in that season. So there are definitely, you know, changes throughout those years, but I do feel like I have maintained a very regular movement routine, and it's because of these things. So, number one is to schedule it. I have it on my calendar when I'm going to do my workouts because if it's not scheduled in and that time is not blocked off, I know that I'm going to fill it with something else. So I schedule it in just like anything else on my calendar. It is a block of time that means that is my workout time. Number 2 is choosing activity that I enjoy. I don't just do it because that's what I'm supposed to do, because I know that I won't do it if I don't enjoy it. So I do challenge myself. Like sometimes I'm going through my workout and I'm drenched in sweat. I'm working my butt off. Like I know that they are challenging, but I'm not doing something that I know that I'm not gonna show up to because I dread it. Like, that is what I mean when I say choose activity that you enjoy. Choose activity you know you're gonna show up for because even if it's challenging, you know you are going to end the workout feeling really good. So whether that's walking, strength training, mobility exercises, those are the things that I know I love, but maybe you love cardio, maybe you love running, maybe you love tennis. Like there's so many different things that you can do for movement that you enjoy. So make sure it's something, at least in the beginning, something that you enjoy so that you can build the habit to build the consistency. Number 3 is being okay with short workouts when they're needed. When I realized like I can do a short workout because that means I got something in, I know that there are going to be days where I have a more intense or a longer workout, and that made it more sustainable for me because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get 2 hours at the gym by the time I get there. I set up, I do my hour workout, and then I get ready afterwards and drive back home. Just wasn't going to work long term. It just wasn't sustainable. And it was the reality of it. I had to face that was not going to be something that I could maintain long term. We did it for a period of time, and it was a long period of time, and we made it work, but we wanted more time in the evenings, so we needed to cut some things out. So we wanted to cut that drive time out, which meant we didn't go to the gym, which meant we needed to do something at home or find an alternative. And that is when I was like really focused on the shorter workouts being more attainable because on those busy days, a short workout is still going to be better than nothing. I've been doing a lot of workouts from Nourish Move Love on YouTube, and Lindsay Baumgren is the one that does those. She's the trainer for it, and she always says 10 minutes is better than no minutes, and I love that because I that when you shift your mindset to think about that, it's like 10 minutes is better than no minutes, then you don't have to feel so bad if you are having a busy day or you are just physically and mentally exhausted, you can take 10 minutes for yourself to move your body, whether it is, even a calming walk or mobility exercises, just get down on the mat and stretch, like do something to move your body. You're going to feel so much better. And when we can only fit in that small chunk of time, it's better than nothing. And then you will feel the days where you have a little bit more time in your schedule or you have a little bit more energy and you're starting to feel good because you've been moving consistently, even if it's small chunks of time, you're going to start to feel that and kind of crave the bigger workouts and the longer workouts and the more challenging workouts and follow that. Like, take the big workouts when you can, but when you can't, still be okay with those small workouts rather than just skipping it altogether. And then number 4 is keeping it accessible. This is where I saved workouts on YouTube and I stream them from our TV, but I've also streamed them from my laptop, I've streamed them from my phone, and it works really, really well to do that because there are so many amazing workouts on YouTube that are free. And they're completely free. So when you have some time, go and do a little deep dive into YouTube workouts and start saving them. Create your own playlist or start bookmarking them, however you want to do it, but create a list of workouts that you want to go back to because this is really helpful when you are actually able to work out for a block of time. You don't have to go search for the workouts. You can just go to a workout you've already saved and just click on it and get started. And then you can move forward and you don't waste time because our time is so precious. So do a deep dive, save what you can, and keep them really accessible. The other thing about keeping things accessible is your equipment, it's your workout gear. If you have your workout shoes, keep your shoes by the door for those quick morning walks. Keep your weights and everything accessible so that it reminds you to actually do it until you get that habit built. I still have our rack of equipment in our living room. And it's probably going to sit there until we move and have another space for it. And I'm okay with that because it reminds me to actually get my workout in for the day when I see it. So we have just a small like weight rack and it has weights on it, it has kettlebells, it has our shoes, it has the yoga mat. It has what we need for our workouts and it's very accessible. If I need to, I can just grab a couple weights or I can just roll the whole rack to the middle of the living room when I'm working out and it works really well and it's easy to pull out and put away when it's time and I'm not like digging all of that equipment out from somewhere else to get ready for my workout. So it used to be where I would keep them in our office which was upstairs and then I would always work out downstairs in the living room and I would have to go and get those weights and I'd have to get all my equipment. I have to grab my mat and I'd have to lug it all downstairs, which isn't that big of a deal, but it was just one more thing that was in my way of being able to work out, and it would prevent me from working out many days because it just seemed like too much of an effort to have to work out. And I know it sounds weird, but if you're in this state with me, like, you know what I'm talking about here. And maybe this isn't how everybody is feeling, but I know there are some of you that are feeling this way. And I want to encourage you to just make it more accessible. And that will be a big step forward in being able to actually work out when you intend to. And part of this too, of keeping things accessible, is I knew I wanted to get more steps in, and I have a desk job, so I am sitting a lot. And I ended up getting a standing desk where I can sit at it if I want to, and then I can also have it raise. And when it rises, I can put a walking pad underneath. So we bought a little walking pad, and if you've been listening for a while, you know my office is part of our guest room. So I just slide the walking pad right under the guest bed to get it out of the way when I want to use the chair. And then when it's time for me to actually use my walking pad and I want to get some steps in, I just pull it out from under the bed and I put my chair aside and I pull up the desk and now I'm walking while I'm working. And this just helps me maintain the consistency of getting my steps in, but also like it does help me focus as well because you're feeling so much better and it helps my focus on my work as well. So there's a lot of benefits to it. And then the last one is number 5, and this is focusing on how I feel rather than the scale or how I look. And this can be a very big one, especially if you have any hormone imbalances. You know how much of a struggle this can be. You can feel like you are eating all the right things and you are working out consistently, and the scale just doesn't move or it goes up, which is super frustrating. So instead of getting really like disheartened by that, I tried to not pay attention to it. Like I still will weigh myself just for data, but I don't let it make me feel like a failure anymore. I used to get so frustrated and then getting dressed, like things aren't fitting right. And I know that going through a lot of health stuff, I know my hormones are a huge part of that. And I have some other things that are going on that I know are contributing to making it really hard to lose weight, even though I feel like I'm doing everything right. I just gain it. So it's really frustrating, and the old me would have just been like, I'm just not going to bother because there's no point in it. But instead of focusing on that information, I go by how I feel. My clothes are actually fitting better. I feel really good. I feel more energized. I have less brain fog. I have less cravings. I feel like when I want to eat good, healthy foods and whole foods rather than junk food and sugar. Like it all plays a role. And all of that is happening even if the scale is not moving. So instead of focusing on the scale or how I look, I am focusing on how I feel. Because even if the scale's not moving, muscle is being distributed differently. And there's other things happening that we maybe aren't fully aware of in our bodies, but it does make us feel better. So if that is a struggle that you have, really stop focusing on those metrics, but focus on how you feel, how much, better is your brain fog, how much better is are your cravings, like are your clothes fitting better? Those are the things that I want you to focus on instead of everything else. So that is a quick summary of what has helped me to maintain a regular movement routine for years. So I hope that that is helpful for you. I hope you're able to take some of this and have some insight and see where you can shift things to be able to maintain a more regular movement routine if this is something that you've been struggling with. So I will quickly recap those 5 things that have helped me, and hopefully they'll help you too. As number one, is to schedule it. You need to block off the time because otherwise something else is going to fill that time. Number 2, choose an activity that you enjoy. Number 3, being okay with short workouts when needed. Like Lindsay from Nourish Move Love says, 10 minutes is better than no minutes. And I love that. Number 4 is keeping it accessible. Save the workouts, keep your equipment close, just do whatever you need to do to be able to keep everything accessible, to stop putting another block in your way. And the fifth thing that has helped me is focusing on how I feel rather than how I look. And this is a big one, and it does make such a big difference. So I hope that this is helpful for you, and I will catch you back here on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.